I struggled to grow my chest for over 10 years. And it was a real problem for me. I was involved in a lot of sports and I never needed to do this bench press, bro. And I really hated the way I looked. When I was a kid, like 16 years old, I wasn't genetically blessed. I wasn't some kind of unit that was a freak of nature. And I'm like, yeah, like this is how I grew my chest. Like, nah, man, I was kind of a string bean. But as I aged, what I found was that I was so tired of my stomach coming out farther from my chest. Like from this angle, when you look, I was like, bro, my stomach was just like coming out, and I'd be like, what is that, man? Like, what is that? I would be so tired of it. It just made me feel not confident. It made me feel chubby, and anytime I bulked, I just felt like I had this little bird chest, and then just gut. Like I never stuck to a bulk because of this. So I definitely understand the pain of not being able to grow your chest. And what I ended up doing was I changed really 5 major things. Right, I ate enough, I ate enough protein, but these 5 ways I trained, I actually changed. And look at the chest development there. I actually have a shadow on the upper titty. They're like little mountains coming out. It's like I feel like I gave birth and I'm just filled. Okay, I'm ready. I'm just pumped. It's amazing. Okay, now these are the 5 things that I changed. First, I actually changed doing incline benches. Before, crazy as it sounds, I never did an incline press to save my life. Okay, I would like put like a plate under the bench so it would be like slightly inclined, but like not enough, you know? So what I changed was I actually put the bench up. On the bench, usually there's like little angles on some of them. I put it up to about a 45-degree angle. It felt really steep at the time, but what happens is like when I bench, I actually lock my back, like I lock this part, you know, like this. So when you're already leaned back, you know, you kind of need that extra angle to really get in there good. So I would actually do incline presses and incline flies, which is a crazy thing to say, I know, but that really fucking helped. The second thing I did was I actually would focus on hitting all angles of the chest in a workout. So I wouldn't just do incline press and then be like, I'm going to go do, like curls or something. I would be like, okay, I did incline press. I would do that first because I'm like the most rested, the most strong. I'm driving all that growth right here and it's stimulating a little here. But then what I would focus on is be like, okay, now let's do flat bench. Because if I do flat bench, I'm actually hitting a different part of the pec, and that's usually the stronger angle. So I already exhausted the incline, now I'm doing the flat, and then I'd usually finish with some flies, some incline flies, most of the time. And oh my God, the pump was magnificent. And if you were going to the gym and you're not getting a big pump where you're like looking in the mirror being like, I feel big right now, you're doing it wrong. I'm just going to tell you right now, because as soon as I started chasing the best pumps, it was like a signal for my body. I was like, okay, like these are stimulating a lot of pumps right now, right? I get to see a great pump review, but it's stimulating a lot for me right now. I'm going to keep doing that over a period of weeks. And that's what I did to end up going from that to this. All right. So the next thing I did was I actually prioritized getting a good stretch. So I wouldn't focus on the top half of the movement being like, you know, when you're lifting, I got nothing. I got no bars here. So let's just take this pack of gum. You know when you're lifting and this is the barbell and then you stop here and then you move? I didn't do that anymore. I really focused on getting like my arms as far back as I possibly could. This meant a few things. It meant I couldn't bench as much. So if I had like, let's say 180 pounds on a Smith machine, that's what I like to incline bench on. 180 pounds, it's like a 45, that's 245s on each side. That doesn't include the bar weight, obviously, but 245s on each side. I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome. But I found I couldn't get as deep. I couldn't get as good of a pump, and I wasn't working as hard. So by looking at and prioritizing the stretch position, I actually would lower my weight. I went from a 45 or 245s on each side to a 45 and a 25. And that was like, that's my max right now. Like I could maybe go a little higher than that, but then I can't get a good amount of reps. And I focused a lot on getting 10 to 15 reps, really solid, pausing at the bottom, and then pushing up. And that, oh my God, has made a massive difference to the way that pump feels in the upper chest specifically. The next thing I did, which I think everyone should do, honestly, is having a dedicated chest day. A lot of people And I did the same thing. You get in these complicated splits. You got you got like a pull day, a push day. And so you're going to do bench and you're going to do triceps and you're going to do all this stuff. But when I go into the gym, I have one mission that day. One. I'm like, what's the one thing I need to do? I need to stimulate chest growth today. That's the only thing I need to do. So let's just fucking do that. So I would do the incline bench, 3 sets. I would do the flat bench, which is like 2 to 3 sets, just depending how I'm feeling with that. And then I'd finish off with some flies, usually another 3 sets. And I could do either just normal flies, or I could do more of an incline variant on the flies. I like the incline personally because I feel like I always had, even in this picture here, I always had some under boob development. But man, look at, it's like flat as hell right there. Like that's like... I feel like that's a geometric shape right there. It's just not that good, right? So I really focus on the incline a lot. The next thing I did was I actually would add in. So after I basically would hit all angles of the chest, focus on the upper titty first, get a good stretch, I would add a specific chest day to make sure I got my work done at least once a week. Then when I'm feeling like, yo, I could do more, instead of adding more to that workout, I would actually add a second chest day. So I would do this usually about 3 days after the initial one. So usually my Mondays are chest days. Thursdays, I usually do back. But I feel like I always had a decently developed back. So what I would do is if I was really trying to focus on chest growth right now, I would, instead of doing back first, I would do chest first and then make sure I finish up with some back. You could also do this at different times. Like that's what I prefer to do now. So I'm more rested for both. But I would make sure to get a chest stimulus on that day no matter what. Because by adding a second day in, I'm really allowing my body to recover and then hitting it again, recover and hitting it again, and recover and hitting it again. And that is really important. So once you start, if you're getting enough protein in, you're getting your sleep in, right? You're eating enough, and you're doing these 5 things I suggested, which is, hitting all angles of the chest, having a dedicated chest day, focusing on the incline first, prioritizing the stretch, and then adding a second chest day, you will see results similar to this. Okay, there's no kind of, no substances here, nothing I did crazy. This is literally just me getting newbie gains on my upper chest because I never in my life have focused on growing my chest. I played a lot of volleyball when I grew up. I felt like a T-Rex. I basically had tiny arms, chest, shoulders, and then just big legs. Okay. Now I'm redoing that all, and now I'm focusing a lot on the upper body, and I'm finding these little things that I'm doing, and I just want to share it with you. So if you found that helpful, I do have a community that I'm growing right now. It's called Future Jacked Grandpas. It's for everybody who is looking to live a long, healthy, strong lifestyle. And I do actually have a breakdown of more of the steps I did, because I believe that fitness is not, it's a lot of little things combined together that get you a result. And I'm a big gamer. I love video games. So I made it into a game for myself, and this is how I got results. So if you want to check that out, feel free to click the link in the first comment. And hey, I'll see you there.